Asoebi custom, the Nigerian age-old tradition of wearing uniform outfits to social occasions, is originally used to signify solidarity among friends and family. Well, today the custom, which has since spread to other parts of West Africa, is often used as a money-making venture, so much that you stand a chance of being denied access to a social function if you fail to participate in the Asoebi dress code. Well, let's chat about the Asoebi syndrome tonight on Moments Girls Talk. Very warm welcome to you and ladies.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Do you know what's funny? I remember one of our first conversations was for it was when we both went to Tinapa wedding.
Yes.
And we were wearing Asoebi and we started talking. I was asking you, about Asoebi and the culture of Asoebi specifically, from where you come from, from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
How in Zimbabwe you guys don't have that culture, right?
We honestly do not have that culture, but what I find is that a lot of these things are being adopted across Africa now. But it's it's an informal thing. If you want to participate, go for it. If you don't want to, nobody's gonna hold a gun to your head. So it's a pretty casual tradition, if I may call it that.
Yeah, but I feel Nigeria, it's meant to be quite casual, and if you opt in, you do. But there is like a silent pressure. I don't know, Balani, if you felt this. There is allowed that if you don't buy the Asoebi, sometimes some brides even take it personally, like that means we're not as close as I thought we were.
Yes.
Or you know what I mean? They don't really think of maybe your financial situation is not there at that time that you could actually afford to buy the Asoebi. So I think it can be actually a very contentious thing, which is sad because it's meant to be, all that unity and celebrating. But I feel like it's taken on all these other subtle meanings. Do you know what I mean?
No, Asoebi's culture has completely changed. You guys, we're going to talk about this because this Asoebi issue is very, very real. And as we explained, Asoebi is basically a uniform that you wear in solidarity with the couple. And we'll talk about the history of that. But we're going to be joined by our guests right after this. All right, welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. Today on the show, we're talking about the Asoebi syndrome. And our first guest is a Nigerian actress. She is in the popular web series Rumor Has It, and also being Mrs. Elliot. Her name is Uru Eke. And we also have YouTuber, actor, host, and I'll say it the way he's a producer, Aka Nani, popularly known as Aka Bant. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank
you.
Welcome.
You're watching Moments Girls Talk, and we have two Nollywood stars on the show here with us to speak with us about the West African culture of a uniform celebratory outfit called Asoebi. Now, before we went on a break, there's something that shocks me to my soul, which was that you've never bought Asoebi.
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain to us how that is? When you've had wedding, friends who've been getting married, have you been able to avoid getting Asoebi?
How'd you get out of it?
Because it can be very difficult.
Thing is, I've never bought, but I've worn.
Okay.
The one time that I did, the opportunity was presented to me to buy. They called me and said, "Oh well, so and so person's getting married, and we're calling on her behalf to ask you if we can send you the Asoebi." And I said, "Well, I don't buy Asoebis." I said, "But I will come for the wedding. What's the color code, or So I'll call you back. And that's it. I didn't get my invite to the wedding, and I never heard from them since. So I thought, but hold on. I thought we were friends. Just because I'm not buying Asoebi, does that mean I don't get to come to the wedding? And I'm like, hey, okay. But that was foul, in my opinion.
Why do you not buy Asoebi? Why? Because it sounds like a principle that you set and you said I don't do it.
It's not really a principle, but personally, I prefer not to, because I think the way that it should be, the reason why this, where it originated was basically for friends and family, and some type of
to identify the people who were really close.
Closest. And then obviously it's changed and it's moved on from then to something else. It's a money-making scheme. It's probably maybe some type of I belong type cult, shall I say, that everyone turns up looking the same and stuff. So I'm not really a fan of that.
So if you're invited to an all-white party and you don't own anything white,
but that's different.
But what's the difference?
I'm not buying anything.
I said if you're invited to an all-white party and you don't have anything white,
you have to buy white.
No, but you have to buy white.
No, if you go to an all-white, I know myself. There's certain kind of dress codes or color codes. I'm not going to go to an all-white party wearing green.
But some people do. But some people do, and that's okay. So I think back to what you're saying. I think the pressure is a lot, and I feel like it's something that has now, as you said, a popularity thing, and it shouldn't be that serious. You know what I mean? Why is there so much emotional attachment to Asoebi? It doesn't, I mean, do you know what I mean? It doesn't really...
Would you call it an emotional attachment, or the fact that these people want to make some extra cash for their wedding or for whatever celebration it is?
Okay, I'm going to address that because I don't think for a lot of people it's only about making money. Okay, but I want to hear, your 2 cents. What do you think?
I mean, sometimes I hear some of these things and I get shocked because men don't have these issues. I mean, when we buy fila. We buy fila. Fila is 1K. The time that there is fuel increase in price is 2,000 naira. You get your fila. In fact, if you don't get a fila, you're cool. Like, get into the space with your suit or your native. If you're wearing all white or all black or nice suit, get in there. You're gonna have a nice time. You know. I mean, like, it's not that serious, and I don't know. So maybe it's a woman thing. Like, women are very emotional.
Not all of us.
But wouldn't you feel left out if, these days everybody is taking these squad pictures? Like, think about Banky W's wedding. Remember, he had all his men wearing their tribe.
Imagine if one of his friends didn't have
wearing,
it will.
Don't look your face. You said,
you can't even be in the picture. You just excuse yourself from the picture.
I would just say, you know what? Let me just go use the restroom.
But doesn't that go back to the fact what we just said about it was a sense of belonging for close friends and family? It made sense for all of them to wear that color scheme and to look similar. But someone who's not as close to Banky as some of the people in that picture, I think I would feel odd. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So that's the thing, right? There's a combination where before it used to be you were very, very close. You bought the Asoebi because Asoebi literally means the clothes of people who are closest to you. That's what Ebi means. My Ebi, the people close to me, right? Now, what has happened is you use it to identify with people who you're friends with, because some people will say, I only buy Asoebi for people on this level of closeness, right? My take on it is, I buy Asoebi for my friends. I buy Asoebi for people who I consider, who I probably knew about the fact that, or I knew that you guys, there was some sort of relationship there. And I am familiar with you beyond just, oh, hi, bye, right? But there's also the sense where, I'm not going to deny, there's a feeling of belonging when you buy Asoebi. And that's why we buy Asoebi. Have you guys been to a wedding where you're not wearing Asoebi?
Yeah, they won't serve you.
You don't get the proper
food. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break and we're going to talk about, because we're all saying, oh yeah, buy the ones that you're close to. But it's not a nice feeling when you go to a wedding and you're not wearing the Asoebi and they're looking at you like, they pass you as they're giving the souvenir. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation.
This is Moments Girls Talking. We're still hanging out with Ureke and Akanani as we talk about the Nigerian culture of Asoebi, which is also spread to the rest of Africa. Now let's get into the economics of this. I'm going to start with you because you're really anti-Asoebi, right? How much should Asoebi be priced on average? How much
I think that's hard to determine because it's really down to how much the people celebrating the occasion, how much they bought the materials for. So I think they then put a certain percentage on whatever it is that they want to sell on to their friends or stuff. But I think it should be reasonable. I've heard some Asoebis go for as high as 150, 300, some 40, some 60. So I think it's dependent on quality of the fabric, maybe.
Quality of the fabric. Well, is like,
the thing about it is with Asoebi is, let's understand what Asoebi is. Asoebi is a uniform that you're supposed to wear on a specific day. If I'm going to be wearing something once, I'm wearing it for that specific day. I'm going to take tons of pictures in that specific outfit. There's a very high chance that I'm not going to wear it again.
But I'm not
But I think, hold on to this.
Rambuba and things like that, so you can wear it again.
People do, but then also, Asoebi is getting so extravagant that it's so, it's such a statement Asoebi that it's hard to almost rock it, right?
But that's a choice you make. You decide to,
that's what
make it couture. No, I don't mean if it's a simple dress or fabric, you can wear it.
I don't mean like the style or anything like that. A lot of times I find that you will find people putting Asoebi, you're pushing 40,000 naira. I think 40,000 naira is too much to spend on Asoebi. It is just too much. So for me, it's a situation where, why is it that you buy Asoebi for this amount and you put so much on it? You're making such a profit on it. It's technically not supposed to be a money-making scheme, but people are making millions off of selling Asoebi more than what they bought it. That's my issue. That's not what it's about.
But can I just interject here and say, when you go to a wedding, do you normally give a wedding present? Most people don't normally. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
You don't normally give a wedding gift when you go to a wedding. So maybe
this is your way of, you know,
absorbing
giving something back. You know,
yes,
I mean,
definitely.
But also,
give presents. Even on your birthday, how many presents you get?
You are the one that give people the gift.
You're the one spending. But you know, still talking about traditions. Now, you look at a wedding, and the number one tradition, of course, is that the bride wears her gown, the groom wears his suit, or you know, whatever is appropriate. There are traditions there to add color. So if you can invest so much in your wedding gown, why is it that you can't invest a fraction of that amount to somebody else's wedding as Asoebi? Why? Because you obviously, if you invest that much in your own wedding gown, you obviously value that tradition. So why should that tradition be valued any less?
If I'm your bridesmaid, great. If I'm just coming to attend, then let me come to attend and celebrate with you. We all know the responsibility we placed on bridesmaids, and that's the thing. The whole point is, when I ask someone to be my bridesmaids, it means that you're my friend. We're close enough where you're willing to sacrifice monetary,
time, money.
Do you understand? Everything, because we have a relationship, and vice versa. You might not ask me to be, you know, your bridesmaid, but still, if I accept, you choose to accept to be someone's bridesmaid, because I don't think you have to always accept. My question is, why should you put that burden on someone and then get emotional when they don't buy your Asoebi? It's not that deep.
But the thing is, I think certain things need to change. The fact that you have to spend so much money on a piece of clothing that you wouldn't wear again is ridiculous.
But weddings are expensive.
So yes, weddings are expensive, but I'm thinking, I'm trying to, you know, solve the situation here, get a solution. Why don't you make clothes or dresses that you can alter later and wear somewhere else? Like you can, right? Can that work?
But who stops you from doing? Nobody stops
you from doing that. You can make a dress and then later you alter it and make it into something else, something different, the same as Asoebi, and wear it, rock it to Invite's
party. I know what I think about this. What I think about this is the fact that a lot of times there's a lot of pressure to slay at a wedding. If you sew a plain Iran Buba, a plain dress, you're not going to make the front pages of this day style or whatever.
But that's your personal nuance. That's your personal nuance. Not everybody wants all that attention.
But you know what? I think what it is, what's happening now is that we're beginning to merge what happens in the ideal world with celebrity world. The thing is, with celebrity world and celebrity weddings, and the people who come don't see it as a normal Nigerian wedding. No, it is a space for work. Because you need to show that I'm networking with the right people, I'm in a social class, I'm in a space where brands and people can, I'm connected, and so when they call me for jobs, they will know that I'm friends with so and so, so my money will change. So do you understand? And it works, and that happens. Am I lying?
And on that note, does it mean it's time to say goodbye to this tradition? If clearly it's no longer about the wedding, it's no longer about solidarity, uniformity.
We need to take it back.
The truth is, if there's still some form of solidarity and friendship there, to be honest, there's a form, there's a little base, but the truth is, there are other levels that
I think it's your mindset about it, to be honest. I think it's not by force. You know, if you don't have the money for Asoebi, if it's between maybe like you're saving up for your rent and buying Asoebi, clearly everyone knows the sensible thing to do.
But you call your friend, if you're that close.
The reason why I say that's a one-sided argument, you could say I don't have the money, but what about the people that you're attending? If it's really close friends, you can't go and you know what?
I would sacrifice.
You know, they expect you. It's their one day. Jonathan, that day probably won't come back. God.
So no. So if you rather put yourself in debt just to please other people,
but that's the thing. You know what kills the whole thing? Can I give you an example?
What kills the whole thing? Let me just say this: is that there are some people, that same Asoebi that you're saying, hey, it's expensive. There are people begging for it because of these reasons. They want. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but people begging for it. That's their business. They can afford it. But if you cannot afford it, my own point is, you can't hurt yourself to please somebody else, or hurt your finances, should I say, to please other people. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it.
Another thing you can do is just split Asoebi.
Split the fabric. Buy and share.
Make a top or a skirt or a sleeve.
Or put a patch in the middle of the clothing.
You guys are finished.
Okay, and on that note, this is not Shade Corner.
No, that wasn't for shade. Promise.
It's time for secrets.
Yes.
It's time for celebrity secrets. So, Urueke.
Yeah.
Every episode we find out what some of our celebrity secrets are. Those things that nobody knows about you that you're ready to share with us right here, right now. Let it out. I know you have plenty. I've heard about you.
Yeah.
I just made that up. I haven't heard a thing.
Secrets. So, I'd love to share.
It can be anything.
It can be anything.
Do you have a sixth toe?
No.
When you're home alone, do you do anything strange, like walk around in the nude, or I mean, because someone said that.
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Are you nudist?
At home, I am.
Do you live with people?
Wow.
No, I live alone.
Okay, it would have been juicier if you lived with
Actually, it's the most comfortable way to be, especially when the light's going, and I live in an estate where, you know, it's service, so the gen comes on at 7, so when there's no light during the day, I'd rather not put the gen on because I hate the noise.
Yeah.
So if I'm home, silence.
Yeah.
And I haven't changed my inverter battery, so I'm just like, you know what, just take everything off.
Yeah. Let it breathe.
Exactly. Legs wide open. That's it. You know, so yes.
Wow, I got a mental image there. So I've just cleansed my mind.
Oh, I didn't get one. No problem.
Children are watching.
Aka, how about you? What's your celebrity secret?
I'm a grandpa. What I mean by that is that I don't like to go out. I'm lazy. I love sleep and I love TV.
Really?
Yeah,
I see you everywhere. Maybe
like,
you're social
when
media.
You say, how was your day? Great day. It was an amazing day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I stayed at home. There was light. I watched TV.
Were you wearing clothes when you were at home?
Well,
Another new.
well, sort of, you know, light clothing. But yeah, I just like, I don't like going out. And most times when I go out, it's because my friends, I want to see friends, or they're dragging me out. But that's it. Yeah.
Dragging out, Aka. They're forcing you to leave the house.
That's true.
Teasing.
I have actually made him come out.
Well,
Yeah.
Akan and Uru, this has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you,
chatting with you
Thank
guys.
you,
Your
Aka,
insights, especially your firm stance on Asoebi. I think we all need to take
you have a lot
just
of
a
friends?
page out of
A lot. But you know, the thing is, they're not really into the...
They're not into
No.
it. So you need to find your tribe.
Exactly.
Yeah, probably.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be back shortly, and we'll be bringing you In a Nutshell.
Welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. Guys, in a nutshell, for me, you know, I just feel like there has to be a balance. Like, if you're going to sell your Asoebi for 50, 40K, at least, okay, fine, even if you bought it for 15K, don't let it look like Asoebi that is 15K worth. Do you know, there's some Asoebis that I bought that I'm just like, there is no way that this Asoebi is anything of any quality that I can wear again. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, but I mean, you know, the point of you don't give wedding gifts in Nigeria, I kind of really embrace that. We really don't. I think it's a mindset thing. You know, I always say this. I think of it as maybe that's your gift to the couple. You bought the expensive Asoebi.
Yeah.
Your job is done. You know what I mean? And also, it's not by force. If you can't afford it, it's okay to kind of opt out and not feel guilty. And if the couple are a bit upset, you can just explain, like, I love you, but I just can't afford this right now. And that should be acceptable enough, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you. You know, I'm about to drop my quotes. But I totally agree with you. It's a celebration of love. It's a union, and it's a sacred union. I feel that anybody who participates in it should do so voluntarily. It shouldn't be forced, shouldn't be coerced, the same way a relationship shouldn't be forced or coerced. So if you need to convince people to want to buy into your dream and vision for your wedding, then you need to rethink why those people are attending on the day. That's how I feel about it.
Completely agree with you.
Well, on that note, that's all we've got for you tonight. It's been a thrilling edition of Moments Girls Talk. Thank you for joining us, and remember,
if you can think it, you can do it.